Hey my glam girls, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea, where we talk about all things glam and all things girly. I am a beauty enthusiast who loves all things beauty, but I'm also going to be now incorporating some lifestyle and some self-care and just basically trying to make this channel a little bit more well-rounded. So today we have a 10-minute makeup look. For those of us who don't have a lot of time, I need to look polished, and I need it to be fast. So I'm gonna be sharing with you not only some high-end luxury products, but also some more affordable products that you can use to achieve the same look. And I will be showing you just a little demo of how I will style my hair today, because I'm actually going somewhere today. So stay tuned for all of that. Thank you so much for spending some time with me and clicking on my video. I would love for you to consider joining the Glam Girl squad and subscribing, clicking the notification bell so you can be notified of all of my uploads. And let's just get right into this video. I'm going for my, what I call my 10-minute makeup look. I go for a few things to really just look polished. So the first thing that I always start off with is some type of primerish like product. I think that's important because you want to set the tone for your look. And the goal of this look is to look the most polished with the least amount of time and hopefully the least amount of steps. So I suggest go in with a primer that's going to address your biggest need. So for me, I always want my makeup to look more glowy and I want my skin to look moisturized. And depending on what base I'm using, I want to conceal my pores. So some options that I will go for when I want to look very, moisturized and hydrated. I love the La Mer, the Hydrating Illuminator. I know she's expensive, but I swear by this product. Love it. I also love the new Lila Be A Glow priming oil in the shade Golden. This is just beautiful for, once again, giving you a nice moisturized look. And I have been loving lately the Il Makiage Pore Filling Primer. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna put on a little bit of the Pore Filling Primer. So I'm gonna take about this much. It is a silicone-based primer. And so I'm only gonna concentrate it in the areas that I want to conceal the pores. So I notice I've got pores right along here and right here under my nostrils. So I'm just pressing that in. And I am talking through this, so it's gonna take me a little longer, but if I'm not talking and I'm just doing my makeup, this really does take me about 10 minutes. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of the Lila Be A Glow priming oil, and I'm just gonna push this around the perimeter of my face because I don't wanna go over the area that I use the primer, the pore filling primer. And as you can see, I've got a nice little glow here, okay? Now on to your base. So depending on what your needs may be, I suggest go in with some type of base product. I know some people don't like foundation, and that's fine. You don't have to use foundation. Or you can go in with a lighter coverage foundation. But I do think applying some type of coverage to the face is going to allow you to look a little bit more polished. So I've got some recommendations for foundation and some recommendations for concealer. So my go-to, if I want something lighter coverage and I just kind of want to literally use my fingers or use just a small amount, Pat McGrath's Sublime Perfection Foundation is bae for that. I'm gonna use this today because I love this stuff. I wear the shade M19 and I can literally use my fingers and apply just the lightest amount and it'll give me coverage. I also really love the Fenty Beauty Eavesdrop foundation for that as well. I wear the shade 16 and you can either use your fingers, you can use a brush for it, but I love, I've really come to love this product and the overall natural look that it does leave on the face. But I think this is a product where if you're I don't wear a lot of makeup, I just want a little bit of something on the face, but I don't want to feel like I have to make my face up, this is an excellent product for it. And then an even more affordable product is the LYS Triple Fix Serum Foundation. This foundation is light to medium coverage, and so you can literally just take a little bit of it and apply it all over the face, and it just looks like your skin but better. I do have a full review on this product as well as the Eavesdrop foundation, so you can take a look at those videos. I'll go ahead and link them for you so you can take a look at that. If you're someone who prefers more concealer and you just want to spot conceal, some of my favorites for that are going to be the Cashapp Revealer Concealer, but I have this one in the shade 7.5 and it matches my skin tone. So I think this is great for spot concealing. I would also recommend the Pat McGrath concealer. I actually compared the Pat McGrath concealer to the foundation and wore both of them all over the face. and the concealer lasted and held up better than the actual foundation. So this is excellent. Full coverage, but still looks very natural on the face. It doesn't have to be set with powder. The Kosas one is more of like a creamy radiant concealer. So depending on your skin type, if you're more oily, you might feel the need to set this one. If you're more dry, you probably won't want to set it. And then of course, Tarte Shape Tape. If you use the tiniest bit of this, especially to spot conceal, and especially if you were to use it in your actual shade, it really can give you a more perfected and awake look, especially if you have like dark under eye circles and you really want to cover those. The Tarte Shape Tape, and I would say the pat would be the best for it. Kosas is full coverage as well, so you can use that one for coverage, but like I said, depending on your skin type, you might not want something radiant, you might want something a little bit more matte. So for the pat concealer, in terms of what I use like on my face, I wear shade M19, and then for the Tarte, this is shade 1044H. I think that's what it is. So this one I actually use to like highlight under the eyes, so I would probably go up a shade to actually match my skin tone. So if I were to spot conceal, I'm gonna show you how I would do it just so you can have an idea, especially if you've never tried that before. I'm gonna go in with the pat concealer. I would put just like a little bit here and either use your finger or use a brush, or you can use a sponge, whichever you like, and just kind of blend that in and see how my under eye area already looks a little more lifted. It looks a little bit more awake. You could also, you know, spot conceal some areas on the face that you're like, okay, I just kind of want to cover those up a little bit. And that's all you need to do. So if you're somebody who's like, I don't want to do a lot, but I just kind of want to look a little bit more awake, a little bit more polished, you literally can spot conceal and be done with it. If you are someone who like more so prefers to spot conceal and then you enjoy a powder as well, I've got some powder foundation recommendation for you. So really, really love the Fenty Beauty powder. I wear this one in shade 330, and this powder, it looks lighter in the pan, but it actually comes off complementary to the face. So this actually works really well all over the face. So if I were like wanting to spot conceal, but I still wanted to have like maybe a little powder on the face, I think the Fenty one is great for that. I love the La Mer one. I know she's expensive. There's not a lot of shades. So I would say Fenty definitely would be probably the better one in terms of shade and price. But if you have La Mer or you were looking at La Mer, this powder foundation is everything. It's beautiful. I wear the shade 53 Bronze. This powder, the Sephora brand Micro Smooth Baked Face Compact in the shade Tan. This is 1035. Y'all, this, like, at one point, I only use this as like my setting powder. It is so beautiful. So it gives you just a little bit of coverage. So I think this would also be a great one that if I use the concealer to spot conceal and then you want to put a powder on the face, beautiful. Depending on if you like powder, concealer, foundation, there's definitely some type of base that could work for you, but I highly suggest either using a foundation or a concealer, or you can use both. But like if we're trying to like do this in 10 minutes, definitely use some type of base to like conceal the area so you can look more bright and awake. So I'm gonna go in with Pat because I love this one, and I'm just gonna do one pump, and I wear the shade M19 in the foundation. I take just a little bit and literally just go like this. So I don't use the full pump, especially if I'm going for just like a very light makeup look, because I don't need a full pump. I think using a full pump would give you more of like medium coverage. So on a day like today, it's like I only have 10 minutes. I want something light. Lay in with just a little bit more. And we're done. So not a lot of coverage on the face, but enough to just kind of even out my skin tone, and it makes everything just look a little bit more together. It makes my face look a little bit more put together. Okay, so if I got 10 minutes, I'm not worrying about like brightening and contouring and all that stuff. I don't make time for that. So my next recommendation would be moving on to bronzer, blush, and highlighter. based on your preferences, what you're comfortable with. You don't need to use all three. You can use a couple of things. So my biggest suggestion, once again, we're pressed for time, so we want to make the most use of our time and the most use of our products. I suggest going in with a palette. So a couple of palettes that I really love that I reach for when I'm like, I need kind of an all-in-one for what I'm going for. Natasha Denona's Tan, Bronze, and Glow is by far one of my favorite. It is a summer love for me. It's actually the palette I'm gonna use today. I love this one because I have a bronzer shade, I have plenty of options for highlight, and like for what you'll see me doing today, if I'm really in a crunch, I won't even put on blush because I can kind of use a couple of these to give me a highlighted bronzy look, so I don't feel like I need the blush. If you're more of a blush person than a bronzer person, the Natasha Denona Bloom Blush and Glow Palette. This is still by far one of my favorite ones. It's so beautiful. Like, I'll use these as blushes and this as my highlighter, or I'll just use this by itself as a blush and a highlighter all together. Gorgeous. I had to talk about this one. NARS Orgasm on the Beach Cheek Palette, another beautiful one. I like to use this as my bronzer, you know, blush, and then highlighters here. And then for a more affordable option, the BH Cosmetics, this is Glowing in Grease. I don't think they sell this one anymore. If they do, it's only gonna be on the BH Cosmetics website. However, BH Cosmetics always comes out with these palettes based on a different country. So I would check Ulta or their website for one. But this one is stunning. So you get 3 blush shades, 3 highlighter shades. I think this palette also works well for multiple complexions because there's a, you know, an array of shades. And so something like some type of palette will allow for you to just kind of dip in there, mix in there, and you're not having to reach for multiple products because you got it all in one. If you're someone where you're like, I don't really know about palettes, I kind of just want one product and be done with it. And let's say you had to choose between like bronzer, highlighter, and blush, I say go with blush and highlight because I feel like you can use different shades of blushes to get like a structured look and then a highlight to pop on the cheek. So a beautiful standalone blush that I like is by LYS. Their matte cream blushes, so good. Highly pigmented, but you can also control the pigment. I think cream products are great when you need to move quickly because you can literally just use your fingers, tap them in. They blend very easily into the skin, so you don't have to worry about, you know, needing to use maybe a brush and then like, oh my God, I put too much powder on. Like, you can really maneuver a lot easier and faster with cream products, so I highly recommend their blushes. Another cream product that I would recommend in terms of blush would be the Tower 28 cream blushes. Beautiful, pigmented. They also leave like a nice little glow to the cheeks. This one is in the shade Golden Hour and it is stunning. And then for highlighter, oh my gosh, the Rare Beauty liquid highlighters, stunning. So this one I have in this shade Transcend. I also recommend these because they have shades that will work for most complexions. You can literally use your finger to blend that out and it looks so pretty on the cheeks, even just without any other makeup. If you just put this on with a bare face, beautiful. I love the Glow Wands by Charlotte Tilbury. So this one is in the shade Pillow Talk Medium. I don't know if it's sold anymore, but she does still sell the Glow Wands in other shades. So there is Pillow Talk Medium. And then the Merit highlighter. So this is their highlighter stick in Kava. So here is the Merit stick in Kava and here is the Merit stick in Bounce. So very beautiful highlighters on the face that you can literally just kind of swipe, tap, 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 and you're done. If you're somebody who prefers just like a single product versus a palette. I'm a palette girl, so that's what I go for. So for today, like I said, I do want to go in with the Tan, Bronze, and Glow palette because, I just love everything about this palette. I'm going to go in with the bronzer shade and just add a little bit right here. And I'm not using a lot because once again, I don't have a lot on my face, so I don't want any of the products that I put on to be like overly concentrated or heavily concentrated because I don't want anything to look stark, like you got a lot of makeup on but your face doesn't really look made up, so it just looks kind of awkward. So I just use a little bit just to add a little, just a little something. because I am a blush girl, I am gonna add some blush. So I'm gonna go in with a Tower 28 one in the shade Golden Hour. Going in with my finger and just gonna tap. And as you can see, you can just blend that right in so quickly. And going back in with a Tan Bronze and Glow. I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. And just add a little on the apples of the cheeks. And I like to add highlight down the center of my face too. Okay, so here's the part that is totally optional, eyeshadow. If you got the time, go ahead. If you don't care for it, you don't want it, don't do it. So quick little eyeshadow tip. If you use bronzer, go in with your bronzer. Take a fluffy brush. I know you've seen this one, but it's true. And just literally run that into your crease and all over the eye, and literally do just a one and done makeup look. Look at the difference. This eye looks like it's got a little shape to it, a little contour. This eye just looks bare. So I like putting something on my eyes. I rarely will go out the house without an eyeshadow because I just feel like, oh, I just need something on my eyes. And I will also take it and run it across the lower lash line because I feel like putting eyeshadow on the lower lash line also, you know, brings the whole look together. Now, if you're not into eyeshadow, but you're in, like, you don't mind this step, take your same highlight that you used for your face, just add that to the inner corner. And that brightens up the eyes as well. And this is something that can be done very quickly. Doesn't have to be anything precise. On to the part that I despise, but it has to be done. Your brows literally frame your face. It gives your face structure. They have to be addressed in some way, shape, or form. Now, if you've got beautiful, perfected brows that don't need a little bit of it, that don't need anything, just take your little brow gel and just brush them up. Like, literally just takes, you can either do clear, you can do a tinted one. So I'm using the Merit one. This is their volumizing pomade in the shade Black Brown. And I love this. And literally, if you just brush your brows up, look at the difference between this brow and this one. Now, my brows do need to be done. Let me go ahead and tell y'all that. They're getting done tomorrow, okay? So, even though they look rough and they need to be done, look at the difference between this brow and then this brow. This brow just looks like I rolled over and got out the bed. This brow looks like, okay, she tried to do a little something to it. So even if you're not good with brows, if you literally just take some brow gel and run it through your brows, we're okay. So I'm gonna do the same on this side. Now, if you're like me and you're like, I still need a little pencil, I suggest going in with, you can do a couple of things. You could go in with a brow product like I'm doing now first, and then go in with your pencil just to like touch up the sparse areas, or you could just go in with your pencil and that be your main, you know, brow fill. But I would say just fill in your brows enough to where they looked like they've been groomed. So I'll go in right here. I'm using the Il Makiage brow pencil in the shade Truffle. And I would just touch up this area. Normally, if my brows were done, this would actually look a little better. Just filling them in a little bit. Like I said, this is 10 minutes, so I'm not going for, you know, the most, you know, defined, beautiful looking brow. I just want to address the brow. That's what we're doing. We are addressing the brows. On to mascara. I think mascara is also a need. Mascara really opens up the eyes. My favorite eyelash curler is the one by Rephr. It is the best eyelash curler I've ever used. And I want to say this is like $16, so not terribly expensive. So I will go in first and press my lashes together about like 10 times, and I'll even kind of pull it up just a bit just to get a really good curl. And also I like this one because I can really go at the base of my lashes and I'm not pinching my skin, like it doesn't hurt. But as you can see, look at the difference that just curling them makes. Like, you could be the person that's like, I'm just gonna curl my lashes and be done. This eye looks more open than this eye does, right? So I like to curl my lashes. I like to go in with a lash primer because I love for my lashes to look like we've got a lot of drama. So I make time for this step, but lash primer does not have to be a need if you don't have a lot of time. My favorites is the one that I'm using. This is by Lancome, their Cils Booster Lash Primer. Also the L'Oreal Lash Primer. That's a really good one as well. So if I'm using the L'Oreal one, after I go in with it, I'm going in with mascara. One that I've really been loving lately has been by Ilia. This is their Fullest Volumizing Mascara. And like I said, I love drama to the eye, so I'm going to go for this one. If you want a really good drugstore one, any mascara by L'Oreal, I think those are some of the best drugstore ones out there. So usually I will put on 2 coats of mascara. So I'll put on 1 coat, I'll move on to the other eye, give myself a good, 10 or so presses of the curler. And like I said, you don't have to do all of this, but at the very least, put some mascara on. Even if all you do is just put mascara on and you don't use a lash curler or a lash primer, I feel like it really makes a difference. All right, so we've got 1 lash coat on, and I'm gonna go in with the second. And if you're somebody who doesn't like to wear mascara on the lower lash line, you don't have to. You can really just do your top lashes and be done with it. It's really up to you. It's more so your top lashes that are gonna open up your eyes and make your eyes look more bright versus your bottom lashes. I am gonna run this mascara across my bottom lashes just because I like to put mascara down there. And after that, lips. So for lips, I got a lot of options for you, but I think you can never go wrong with a good gloss. If you like lipstick, there's tons of lipsticks out there. My favorites from the drugstores are gonna be by Maybelline. You cannot go wrong. Either their lipsticks or their liquid lipsticks. Like, Maybelline was my go-to for lipsticks when I really was into drugstore, and I'll still pick up a Maybelline one. Like, I just think they have the best formulation of lipsticks. L'Oreal also has some good ones, but like, I personally like Maybelline. But I'm a gloss girl, so if I'm in a pinch, I'm really gonna just throw a nice gloss on the lips and be out the door. Or I will go for a nude lip. So I have a couple of options for us. So if you like lip liners, and especially if you're like a lip liner and gloss type of girls, my favorites right now, I've got 3 favorites. Christian Audette, swear by them. The one that I'm gonna use today is by Pat McGrath. This is the lip liner in Deep Dive. But if you're on a budget, the NYX Suede lip liners are bae. They are long lasting, they're very comfortable, they glide onto the lips, and I love them. I have this pink shade in Pink Lust. It's a matte one, and it looks like the color on the pencil. And then my favorite brown shade by NYX is Cold Brew. It looks kind of similar to the Pat McGrath one, if you will. Let's actually do a little swatch and see. So this is Cold Brew by NYX, and then this is Deep Dive by Pat McGrath. So I'm going to apply Deep Dive, because I think one of the best ways to look put together without having to do a lot is throw on a statement lip. Like, even if you're having a bare face, if you put on a bright red lip, it's like, oh, she put a little effort in her look today. And it's like, I just put on lipstick. So I definitely think whatever lip choice you do make it one that like pops, whether it's a gloss, a lipstick, whatever it is, make it pop. So if you're not into lipstick, I would just put a gloss on and then we're done. So a couple of glosses. Really love the LYS gloss. This is the Glossy Lip Treatment Oil. This thing is so shiny and glossy and hydrating on the lips. So it's a treatment, but it looks like a banging gloss. And I think this one is definitely under $20. Another really good one is by Tower 28. So I have a deluxe sample, but this joker is glossy. Like, I've heard people rave about them, and I'm like, okay, I get it. These are really good. Another I stand. Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb. This is the gloss cream, but the gloss bombs, the gloss creams, all of the above, Fenty's bomb. Love, love, love them. And what I am gonna use today is Pat McGrath's lip gloss. This one is in the shade Gold Allure. I love my patte glosses. So if you're into like gloss only or like lip liner and gloss, I think any of those options are excellent options. If you're like me and you like a little, you know, like a little lipstick, go in with, depending on your look, like for today, I want to do a nude lipstick. And I just got the new Wayne Goss nude collection. So I'm going to go in with the shade Pecan today and just add a little bit like right here in the middle. And I mean, when it comes to a nude lip, there's so many options. I just got these, and so I just really wanted to use them. But really nice. The lip looks pulled together, and because I love me a little gloss, we're gonna go in with some Gold Allure. Jazz up the lips. Look at that. Oh, this gloss is everything. And face is done. We look more polished, we look more put together, and I mean, you can't go wrong. So I'm gonna do my hair really quick. I'm gonna take my hair down, and I've already straightened it. So I'm just gonna throw a few curls in my hair. If you are somebody who likes to wear their hair down, I'm literally just gonna take like chunks of my hair and pop some curls in it so that we've got some curls, throw a little jewelry on, and then I'll be back for the final look. So stay tuned. I'm using a Conair curling wand. I got it from Walmart. And I like the curling wand because it gives me some nice loose waves. So if I'm in a pinch, but I got time, I will, like I said, take large sections of hair and just add a little wave. And it gives my hair a little bit of dimension. Or y'all know I'm always here for a nice high bun. Can't go wrong with a high bun. It looks really polished and sleek, but it takes no time. So if I got time, I'll do this. If I don't have time, then I'm just gonna go with the high bun. But I got a little time today, so just let it sit for a little bit. All right, and so as you can see, just got a couple of quick waves going on here. So nothing that, you know, that took a long time. That probably took, I don't know, a few minutes. Then I'm gonna add my jewelry because jewelry definitely can amp up a look. So I got these beautiful hoop earrings from Amazon. They were, I think, $13 and some change. So I love hoop earrings. I think they can really like amp up a look without doing the most. And I also like these because they're very lightweight. I have a split ear or a split earlobe right here. It didn't split all the way through, but it has like split a little bit. So I have to be careful with the weight of an earring, and these are not heavy. They don't pull on my earlobe. So love these. Throw in a little necklace. So I love this love necklace. This is by the Style Collection. I love all of their jewelry. I talk about them, I think I've talked about them a decent amount on my channel, but I love the Style Collection. A lot of times when you all compliment me on my jewelry, it's because I got it from them. So I'm gonna put on a simple necklace. And then lastly, if you're into fragrance, pop on a little fragrance. I've learned, for me, fragrance definitely makes me feel put together. So if you've never tried the fragrances from Target, they are good and they are like not expensive. So this is the Coconut Palm fragrance, and this smells so good, and it actually lasts all day for it to be a more affordable fragrance, and it doesn't smell cheap because I am not here for cheap fragrances. I don't wear them at all. So I'm just gonna pop a little behind the ear. I like to put it on my wrist, rub it together, and I like to put it, if I'm wearing like a dress or shorts, I like to put it on the inner parts of my knee, but I have on pants today, so I'm just gonna put it on my ankles, like the inner part of my ankles. And guys, we're done. We look more polished, put together, like we actually care a little bit about ourselves, because we do. We love ourselves, right? So we care. And like I said, if I weren't talking, this really would have taken me like about 10 minutes to do the face, and then maybe another 5 or so minutes to do my hair. So roughly maybe 20 minutes for hair, makeup, and you're out the door. You'll feel great. I always suggest, if you've got time, put that time back in yourself. Don't just neglect yourself. Even if you've got a lot going on, whether you're a mom, you're just a busy woman, busy man, take a little time for yourself. Even if you just pop on a red lip, it will make your mood feel better. You will feel better. You'll walk with your head a little higher. And that's all we need in life, to feel the confidence, to exude the inner beauty that we have. So I hope that you found this video helpful. Let me know if you found it helpful. Let me know what tips you use for when you've got to be out the door in a quick second, because hey, we can all learn from each other. And if you've made it to this point in the video and you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I would love for you to consider subscribing and joining the Glam Girl Squad. And guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye guys.